Yo, yo. What's poppin', Dylan? First one in the chat tonight, homie. First one in the chat. You boys thought I wasn't going to make it or what? Come on now. There wasn't very much news today, but there was this. I also had a busy, I don't know if busy is the right word. I had a wild day on Instagram. I was making some clips, drawing up some headlines. So we can look at that too. Some clips I made from the last 2 nights worth of streams. Just stirring up some controversy in those clips. Shit, no one clips shit off for me, so I gotta do it myself. Like I always say, we don't wait for no man around here. No one finna do it for me? Shit. I'm finna do it myself. Alright, let me just set up as usual here. By the way, Dylan, did you get a notification out of curiosity? Because I tried to do my thing where I tried to fix it because you tell me sometimes you don't get notifications. So I'm thinking you should have got a notification tonight because I think I might have fixed it. I think I figured out the problem is what I'm trying to say, Dylan. I think I figured out why you weren't getting notifications, but considering you're the first person in the chat tonight, I'm assuming you got a notification. AD Kid, what's up, Jacob and crew? Jacob stirring shit, LOL. Yep. Straight facts, AD Kid, straight facts. We can look at it in a minute. Lord of the Pies saying sup. What up, Lord of the Pies? AD Kid says, Jacob, did you talk about Strickland saying what's up to Nick Diaz? I did speak about that. I reacted to it in last night's stream. It was nothing crazy. You know what I mean? I don't think I had much to say about it, AD. AD, I think we missed you last night, right? You weren't in here, were you? Dylan says, got notified. Okay, perfect, Dylan. Yeah, I figured out the issue on that, so I got you, homie. All right. I'm going to keep it a buck before we even get this fucking live stream started. We obviously starting 11:30 p.m. Pacific time over here. So, this is just a mellow stream. I'm just coming on to kick it with the boys for a little bit. And, we got a couple big fights, I think, in the works right now. So I figured I might as well come on. I wasn't actually sure 100% if I was going to come on tonight, but I was scrolling through social media. I saw that this super fight's being teased. It made a lot of sense to me as to why people are leaking this already. So I was like, shit, you know what? I think I should come on here and, share those thoughts with you guys as to why I think, although it's not confirmed, people are leaking it, and I think I know why. Okay, I think I know why. I got an explanation. I'm going to share it with you guys. Also, though, right, Jon Jones responds to Alex Pereira. It wasn't much of a thing over here. It's just Alex Pereira. He visited the tire shop in Brazil. The tire said, next Jones UFC. They be writing little messages on there for Pereira. I don't know if it's a call out or merely like a wishful thinking type thing. I'm leaning on wishful thinking, to be honest with you. I don't think this was designed to be some type of call out, some subtle call out. It's more so like, we're with you, Alex, here at the tire shop. Next, Jon Jones. That's the next fight we want for you. And then, they take a picture and they're like, let's put the tire up next to the photo. I think that's all it is. But anyway, Jon responded, so we'll take a look at Jon's response. But, and then with that being said, a couple other topics we'll take a look at is Sean Strickland talking about why he hates filming with the UFC. I haven't even seen it yet, but I think I know what it's about. It's probably because, they don't be keeping it real. They be trying to fucking stage his videos, and it's like annoying as fuck. We want to see the real shit. Stop gaying out Sean Strickland. You feel me? Sean Strickland essentially called out the UFC for gaying him out. Can I say that? Sean Strickland essentially called out the UFC production team for gaying him the fuck out. Stop gaying the man out. Stop telling him what to do. Stop trying to fit this fucking criteria. If you're going to go film him, let it be raw. We don't want no fake shit. I know nobody in this chat don't want no fake shit. Conor versus Nate 3, Derek Valdez says, that's one of the things I was disappointed about, Derek. When I found out that this fight's getting leaked, it's not confirmed. Keep that in mind. But when I found out that this fight's getting leaked, I was like, damn, man. I do believe that this fight's going to happen at UFC White House. You know what I mean? And I'll explain why. But, when I realized, damn, this is probably going to happen at UFC White House, I was like, damn, no McGregor, Nate 3. That's really the fight to make here. Let's keep it a buck. That's really the fight to make here. But even the fact that Masvidal and Nate have a history, Conor and Nate have a history, that's why I think the UFC is also somewhat inclined to book this matchup right now. Because these are all like three of the biggest stars of the last decade, so to speak. I know Masvidal is a stretch for one of the biggest stars, but he is, with that knockout he had over Ben Askren, plus the fight with Nate Diaz, he is one of the bigger stars. Believe it or not, he is. The Usman fights, these fights really propelled Masvidal. In fact, Masvidal in the Usman fights, when they say A side, B side, I mean, it was really 50-50. And if Usman didn't have that belt, Masvidal was the bigger name on paper. You feel me? It's crazy that Masvidal, just being Masvidal, right, was a 50-50, meaning there's no A side, B side in the Usman fights, with Usman's fucking long-ass title reign and for him being just a flat-out champion in the first place. That should explain to you how big of a star, you know what I mean, a guy like Masvidal is. And then it only grew bigger when he knocked out Ben Askren, and it only grew bigger when he fought Nate Diaz. So I'm just explaining to you why Masvidal is actually a star here. And, I do think that this is going to be the fight. So let me read out the quote. Jorge Masvidal has teased a very big fight at the White House event. Here's the quote. I can't really say too much, but I am training for something big, something very big. I have some fight news coming soon, and it's very big news, and I can't deny or confirm. Now, I guess he was responding to someone asking him if he's going to fight McGregor, because they put in parentheses here, if it's McGregor. That usually insinuates that he's responding to someone asking him, are you fighting McGregor at UFC White House? You feel me? Okay. The next paragraph says, I'm Trump's favorite fighter. Just remember that at all times. I'm Trump's favorite fighter. Just remember that at all times. I can't deny or confirm any of that right now, but hopefully soon I can. Maybe in 10 days, something like that. So it seems like Masvidal was directly asked, are you fighting McGregor at UFC White House? Someone's already leaking it by asking that question. Where the fuck did that come from? That's way out of left field. And I will admit, people were posting yesterday saying Masvidal's teasing fight news. Maybe it was on Champ Rounds where they posted it. And I always find it so cringe when fighters tease that they have big news coming soon. Like, bro, what the fuck is this tease that you have news coming soon? Since when did that become normal? I know when it became normal in the big 25. Sorry, I should actually call that the little 25. In the little 25, that became normalized. Fighters teasing fight news. It's like the gayest thing ever. Honestly, it is. Like, super lame. So when I saw this yesterday, Jorge Masvidal teasing a very big fight at the White House, I was like, oh God, not again. Not again. It actually completely skipped my mind, McGregor over here. So this was posted yesterday. It's just making the rounds on my timeline today. But again, I guess this was on MMA Junkie, and they're asking him if he's going to fight Conor McGregor. I guess that's where this quote's coming from. So at least we got the fucking quote attribution here. And shame on these guys for not attributing the quote. Shame on them. The quote belongs to MMA Junkie. You should always credit your sources. Now, why do I think that this fight's going to happen? One main reason. Let's just get to it, right? One main reason why I think this fight's going to happen. And it's because what Daddy Dana said the other day. And this is what I always tell you guys, right? Do not just listen to what Daddy Dana has to say, right? Read between the lines. Read between the lines. So, January 15th, the day before, look at the timeline on this, right? January 15th, the day before Masvidal speaks about whether or not he's going to fight McGregor at the White House. The day before that, Dana White gets asked in a complex interview if McGregor versus Chandler is still booked for the White House. And we all know by now, you know what I mean? He completely shut it down. Nobody really knew why at the time, right? Nobody really knew why at the time. But now it should be pretty apparent as to why he shut it down, right? I mean, with Masvidal coming out the other day saying, you know, hinting at being on the White House card because he's Trump's favorite fighter, that's a straight up hint right there. I mean, I think it's clear as day. Masvidal, a 10 times bigger star than fucking Michael Chandler anyway.
I know there's like all the talk of Michael.
What's poppin', HT? What's poppin'? And what's poppin', everybody? Derek Valdez. I'll read some chats in a minute. I'm just on a rant right now, and I wasn't feeling talkative earlier, so I figure I'll just keep talking while I'm feeling it. Then I'll resort to the chat when I'm kind of like running out of things to say.
I know there's like all the talk of Michael Chandler and Conor. Do you see like that as like a realistic thing?
No,
happening?
I mean that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, so that's not nothing you'd entertain for
No.
the White House.
No.
I know there's like all the talk of Michael.
And again, how the fuck did this guy get this interview? Absolutely insane. Dana White would be better off sitting down with me, bro. But yeah, no, that was a couple years ago. Fuck no. Then Masvidal comes out, speaks about a potential fight with Conor during an MMA Junkie interview. And here's Conor right here responding to essentially what Daddy Dana said about his fight with Michael Chandler being off. Conor goes, pick who you want. The Max sweats nothing and nobody. I'm tasty shots. So, you know, Conor reacting to it, Dana emphatically shutting it down, Masvidal, right, teasing that it's going to be at the very least at the White House. Who else would Masvidal fight at the White House? Ask yourself that question. Let's reverse engineer it, right? Who else would Masvidal fight at the White House? I would love to hear you guys drop it in the chat, actually. Who else would Masvidal fight at the White House? Now I see one person saying nobody wants to see that, or don't nobody want to see that. And yeah, you know, it hasn't even crossed my mind about whether or not people want to see the fight yet. I'm more just like breaking down the business aspect as to why they're going to book it. But, you know, like I said to start it off, I guess, I really wanted to see Conor versus Nate 3. I think that's the fight that everybody wants to see. Conor versus Nate 3. I think that is the fight to make in the Big 26. Maybe this could be somewhat of a warm-up for Conor, but Conor's so inactive, bro. You can't expect that from him. So if we were going to give Conor one fight in the Big 26, I would prefer it to be, you know, Nate Diaz 3. Nate Diaz 3. Masvidal versus UK homeboy Rocky. You know, AD Kid, that is a good bout. That's a great bout, AD Kid. That is a great bout now. And I won't even rule it out, AD Kid. Now, does the UFC want to invest in that storyline on the UFC White House card? That would be my only, like, genuine question. That's not me trying to poke a hole in it. That's just like a question off the top of my head. Because, you know, what I'm getting to when I say that is Leon isn't the biggest star, right? So you're going to have to explain why that fight is big to the masses in order to sell it on the UFC White House card, in my opinion. You guys feel me on that? Now, I'm not downing the fight by any means. I'm just trying to talk business once again. And, that would be my interesting question for Dana, right? Is that, you know, Masvidal versus Leon, is that a fight where you want to promote it on the White House card, or you want to go with easier promotion, just big sexy names, right? And that, but then you're going to get fights that people don't necessarily want to see, right? And Conor versus Masvidal, and, you know, we're going to lose out on two fights we want to see, which is Masvidal versus Leon and Conor versus Nate. I really do think that we got to go with the grudge matches on that. We got to go with the grudge matches on that, in my opinion. But it's just fishy. I'm going to say it again. It's just fishy because Masvidal is hinting at UFC White House, and I just presented the question to you guys. Does the UFC want to invest in that storyline for UFC White House, or they just want to give that sexy matchup? I think they'd be stepping over $1 for a nickel by doing that. You feel me? I'm going to keep it a buck there. I think they would. I mean, I think they should take the time to promote Masvidal versus Leon on the UFC White House card. I think maybe they should do that because in the grand scheme of things, you know, it's going to be a great fight, a great beef, and it'll finally be settled. Put Conor versus Nate on there too. two beef settled. And I mean, the next topic in the headline tonight is Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira, right? They're going back and forth a little bit, more so by Jon Jones than Alex, but they're both speaking about they want to fight each other next. Imagine those three bouts on UFC White House: Nate versus Conor 3, Jones versus Pereira, Masvidal versus Leon, and those ain't even no title fights. Ain't even no title fights going on there. But those are three great fights right there. Three great fights. And by the way, this is just a side note, but it's like, bro, we're like 17 days into the new year, and these fighters just don't know how to sell themselves. And I'm talking about the modern day fighters. Why the fuck are we 17 days into the new year? We're talking about Conor McGregor. We're talking about Jorge Masvidal. We're talking about Nate Diaz. We're talking about fucking Jon Jones. And Alex Pereira, he's the only modern day guy in here right now, right? He's the only modern day guy who we're talking about in the new year, 17 days into the new year. But where's all these modern day guys at? Where's all these champions at? Where's all these champions at? Where's Hamzat? I'm going to just list them all. You feel me? Where's Peter Yan? Joshua Van, I'm going to cut him some slack because he's a flyweight. We don't really talk about them that much anyway. Right? But it's like, where's Hamzat? Where's Peter Yan? Where's Volk? We know the deal with Ilya. Where the fuck's Islam playing Red Dead Redemption in real life? We got Islam playing Red Dead Redemption in real life, not even fucking promoting himself right now. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but it kind of is when you hear what I'm really trying to say. We're 17 days into the new year. The holidays are over. And here we are talking about all retired fighters, all non-contracted fighters. Jon Jones is like, he's still under contract, but he just retired. Conor McGregor still under contract, essentially been out for how many years now, right? Nate Diaz, not even under contract. Jorge Masvidal, still under contract, technically, but the UFC basically let him retire and go do these other bouts while still having a contract just off the fucking love, off the strength, okay? So my point is, where the fuck these guys at? I mean, I guess we know where Tom Aspinall's at. I'm just going to go down the list. We know where Tom Aspinall's at. Who's the 205-pound champ right now? Alex Pereira. So we're talking about Pereira. And like I said, Hamza, where the fuck he at? Islam playing Red Dead Redemption fucking 5 in real life. I don't even know if there's 5 Red Dead Redemptions, but whatever. Ilya dealing with a divorce. Volkanovski gone fucking fishing / cooking, okay, on his farm. We got fucking Peter Yan. He just came off a fight, so I'll cut him some slack. But come on, man, where you at? It's a fucking ghost town out here, and none of you boys are making headlines. It's annoying the fuck out of me. It's annoying the fuck out of me. That's what was really on my mind today. Is like, damn, bro, the UFC's fucking dying. The UFC is dying slowly but surely. Tom D, what's poppin', Tom D? Derek, what's poppin'? I'm liking your guys' chats in here. HT, aka World One says, Jay, did you see MMA World mention your post on the Diaz bro beefing on their channel? HT, I didn't. What did they have to say about it, homie? The fuck did they have to say about it? Were they giving me credit? Were they like, did they just basically say that it's been announced that they're beefing or what? And Derek saying, no new stars to talk about. I know, bro. It's annoying as fuck. And we got Daddy Dana trying to build fucking his Zuffa boxing endeavor, signing a bunch of no-names. Like, bro, get the fuck back over here. Let me get in this bitch. Let me get in this bitch. Or let fucking Chael Sonnen get in this bitch. Like, bro, it's annoying as fuck. And I know we've kind of fallen off the McGregor-Masvidal topic, but that already kind of finished anyway. I explained to you why I think it's happening. Dana shut down the Chandler fight. Conor's fucking hyped to get his fight going. Masvidal hinting at fighting at the White House. All that stuff. All that stuff. And it's easier too, right? Think about it like this. It's easier too because the UFC still has to negotiate with Nate just to get him under contract to fight again, right? UFC White House is going to take place in about, 5 months now. It's January 17th, right? We're about 5 months out from UFC White House, a little more than 5 months out. So obviously it can't be a Nate, right? And that's why it even makes more sense for Masvidal. And that's why I tell you guys, don't don't just listen to what Dana has to say, right? Understand the whole game in this aspect where you guys can look at all these other parts to back up a thought you might have. Okay? I'm just giving you guys free game. I'm not trying to lecture you guys. I'm just saying, I'm trying to educate you guys as to how to like see things and how to like tell whether or not something's going to happen when it hasn't officially been announced yet. And it ain't by listening to the words Daddy Dana got to say. It's by reading between the lines. Tom D says, can't trust Conor or Jones to fight anymore, dude. I get it, Tom D, but I honestly think Dana will trust Conor for some odd fucking reason. I think Dana will trust Conor for some odd reason. It's probably because he don't got any other options. We just went over it, right? With all the champions, he don't got no options anyway. The UFC's in a sad fucking spot right now. I think, the next thumbnail might have to be something related to the UFC's dying, bro. I mean, I really do have some things to say about that. I think I'll hold it in. But I'm going to just say it like simple and plain. Like, bro, I mean, the incentive to become a UFC fighter, maybe this is why there's nothing going on right now. The incentive to become a UFC fighter, what's the incentive? Can someone tell me the incentive of wanting to be a UFC fighter? Because right off the bat, it's not to really make money. It's not to really make money. Anybody with half a brain cell can Google how much do UFC fighters make on their starting contract and realize, damn, I'm better off going and getting a regular job. So I just want to know, like, flat point blank period right there. I just said it. Regular people are better off going and getting fucking jobs without even college degrees. You could go work at a fucking hotel and sell timeshares and make more than a fucking starting UFC fighter. You literally could do that. So I think the sport's gonna die with a fucking outlook like that, where you got young people trying to decide whether or not they want to come into the sport, and they say, no, it's not worth it. It's already not worth it for college wrestlers anymore. Think about this, right? Now that the new NIL deals are out in college, hardly anybody's coming over, and they haven't for a long time. The only people who have come over is like a Bo Nickel. We got Gable Steveson trying it. But I mean, you can make more money as a head coach, as an assistant coach for Oklahoma State University than you can coming in and trying your hand at the UFC. And when you think about it, right, it makes it even harder because yeah, you can make a lot of money in the UFC. Yeah, you can make a lot of money at the UFC, but that's only 3%. That's only 3%, 5%. You know what I mean? A lot of them are anomalies. DC ain't the fucking norm, bro. That ain't the norm. How many people made money like DC in the last decade? How many? You can count them on like two hands. But the UFC always gets sold like, we take care of our non-champions. That's the difference with us. Jim Miller's a millionaire. Jim Miller's made $1 million in his career. It's fucking bullshit, bro. And I think the sport's going to die. We don't got no new people coming in. We don't got college wrestlers from, the NCAAs, right, coming over. When I say the NCAAs, I mean like American college wrestlers, like, all Americans, NCAA champions. We don't got them coming over. The juice ain't worth the squeeze anymore. They're all making more money in college off the back, bro, with these NIL deals. Then they go get hired on the team that they fucking competed for while they were in college. I mean, I'm thinking of names right now. I can't fully think of all the names, but just think of it. David Taylor, right? His assistant coach, Thomas Gilman, right? Thomas Gilman could have been a fighter too. If you guys know Thomas Gilman, that dude would have been a fighter in another fucking era. He for sure would have been a fighter in a different era. 30 years ago, Thomas Gilman would have definitely tried his hand in the UFC. But now these guys aren't doing it. So, low-key, I think the sport's going to die. We're 17 days into the year. We ain't got no headlines. We're talking about all our former older stars because we don't got no new stars. So, I just had to fucking rant about that for a little bit because it's annoying as fuck. It's annoying as fuck. I'm just getting caught up on some chats, so bear with me. But AD Kid says, Jacob on point. The UFC has lost their lore. Fighters have zero storylines. I mean, zero, bro. Fucking zero. We're over here drooling over Masvidal versus Leon Edwards to finally settle their beef. Conor and Nate to finally settle their beef. Because we just got nothing. We got nothing else. Like, literally nothing else. These guys don't even like talking half the time. We got JDM talking like he texts, right? Before it was fucking Bilal. Now it's Islam. I mean, shit, boys. We got our work cut out for us. I'll tell you that much. Derek says lost all the cool champs. DDP Jack, except for Jack. Jack wasn't the best, Derek. If we're talking about like Jack wouldn't have gave us anything to talk about either. Sure, he's a cool dude. Sure he wears jean shorts. You feel me? And dresses like a skater. But aside from that, I mean, he really doesn't have much going for him. And he does put on banger fights. But that last one was boring. And he gives you no headlines. 80 Kid says UFC is oversaturated and no one stands out. That's because Daddy Dana takes all the shine too. Can I say that? I mean, Daddy Dana is one of the worst right now. Daddy Dana doesn't promote any new fighters. He's not paying attention for shit. And then he's also soaking up all the shine of the UFC. Going on Complex, going on Shannon Sharp, going on Stephen A. Smith, doing all the fucking media runs. You name it, he's been on it. Right? You name it, he's been on it. Soaking up all the shine. Daddy Dana's so fucking lame these days. So fucking lame these days. I want to come up with a great fucking title and thumbnail for a stream where we call out Dana for this bullshit, bro. Maybe something along the lines of like the narcissism, you know, is killing the product. Something along those lines because he don't give a fuck about it. He ain't signing no one. Okay, he's not developing no stars. He's not creating stars by selling the guys he's got already. And he's soaking up all the spotlight. He's the one who gets to go out and do the interviews. He's the one who gets the sponsorships. Remember the time when Jon Jones had the Nike deal? When fucking Anderson Silva had the Burger King deal? When Anthony Pettis had the Wheaties deal? When Conor McGregor had the Reebok deal? You guys remember this shit? Now Dana gets all those deals to himself. I mean, the narcissism is killing the fucking sport. Dana is like sucking the UFC dry. He like a leech. He giving nothing to no one. He's sucking it dry. And he not even fucking building it up for the next generation. Lil Habatu says, yo, what's good? What's good, homie? What's poppin', my brother? We just chilling. We just talking some shit right now. This is not a crazy live stream tonight. We haven't even mentioned Nick Diaz at all tonight. I'm sure Nick loves that we haven't been talking about him. And for all those people who have been getting familiar with me from Nick Diaz, yes, I have much more to talk about than just Nick Diaz. But, you know, that was a good segment in my life right there. Might have been one of the best 4 days of my career. 5 days of my career was breaking down this whole Nick Diaz story, honestly. Derek says Volk has a fight booked. But see, that's my point, Derek. So he got a fight booked, so he don't got to draw up no headlines. He don't got to promote nothing for his fight. He's just going to pump out a couple steak videos from the farm before the fight and call it a day. I mean, sure, it does numbers, and sure, it's cool. But that ain't... Come on, bro. We're fight fans. We're fight fans. Tell fucking Diego Lopez to suck his dick. You know what I mean? Tell Diego Lopez to tell him he going to take his fucking farm from him. Something, bro. Something. I mean, we got nothing, bro. We got nothing. That one's in 2 weeks. We got Patty Gaethje in a week. The biggest headline we got was that fucking Gaethje got staph. I mean, these guys don't spit no hot fire. I mean, I know Gaethje was saying he's going to knock him out and retire him, and I did use that as a headline. So shout out to Patty. I don't mean to fucking diss Patty as well. Patty's doing a good job. But, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's something going on right now. And I know you boys see it. Tom D, what's up, brother? What up, homie? Lil Habatu says, do you think there should be less numbered cards? No, I don't. Because we've been in this drought right now, Lil Habatu, and it hasn't done shit for us. We've been fucking losing our damn minds. We've been bored as hell. So I don't even think there should be less numbered cards necessarily. I don't think that's what's killing it. I think Daddy Dana's what's killing it. To be completely honest with you, homie. Now, everybody, just make sure, friendly reminder, to like the stream and subscribe if you're not subscribed. But, make sure to run up those likes a little bit for me, especially if you like that rant I just provided. We're still talking about it. I'm just pulling something up on my computer real quick. Honestly, who knew I had this much to say today? I didn't even know I had this much to say today. Um, where's Kevin Holland and all the old dudes who made shit exciting? I don't know, Derek. Oh no, you got their phone number? Should we phone them? AD Kid says Dana's ego. Yep, exactly. Why not Nate? Jarrett, why not Nate? I'm assuming you're asking why not Nate versus Connor because Nate's not under contract yet with the UFC, right? He still hasn't re-signed with the UFC, and UFC White House is 5 months away. So I mean, if they do have intentions of that, they got to sign that. They got to sign Nate within the next couple months, and Nate ain't gonna be no easy signing because the UFC ain't gonna fork over the money Nate wants. That's gonna be a long and dragged out negotiation. Nate's probably gonna fight second half of 2026. That's gonna be my guess. The UFC ain't just finna be like, yo, Nate, you know what I mean? Great guy. Here's everything you want. They're gonna lowball him. Nate's gonna counter it. UFC's gonna threaten to walk away. They're gonna meet in the middle. It's gonna be this whole thing. It's gonna take a couple months. Let alone get the fight fucking booked between Nate and Connor. You feel me? Even more negotiations got to take place for that. No, I want 5 rounds. No 3 rounds. No 170. No 180. No 165. I mean, come on, bro. The fucking list goes on with that shit. So I want to see Nate versus Connor, Jarrett, but that's my response to you. Derek says 6 weeks of no UFC was brutal. Hope to see how these new Paramount events go. Probably hella ads, but fuck it, better than $89.99 for a card where every co-main gets canceled. Well, we just got this co-main getting canceled, Derek, but yeah, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the new Paramount era. But I mean, that whole first little teaser they gave us with Paramount walking out Brian Ortega and, the worst champion in the fucking promotion, Mackenzie Dern, to the Golden Globes. That was the first little teaser. That was the worst. That set us back centuries. So we got a lot of catching up to do. 80 Kid saying, damn, Jacob spitting facts. Shout out to 80 Kid. I don't know how far behind I am on the chats. I feel like I might be pretty far behind, but bear with me. Tom D, that and it's not really about the best fighting the best anymore. Just look at Volk versus Lopez. Nobody's really excited about it, and why should they be? Yeah, Tom D. I mean, Volk versus Diego is getting the hype it deserves, right? Nothing. I can agree with that. 80 saying, Jacob, one of the worst things was the UFC buying the secondary leagues like Strikeforce and Pride and then closing them down. I understand why you're saying that, AD. I understand why. Because it created the monopoly that exists today, right? If Pride and Strikeforce still existed, we would have had these three kind of like promotions to really go back and forth with, and they're all respected. But no promotion has really got respect from the fans like Strikeforce and Pride did back in the day. They haven't been able to replicate it. I think Strikeforce and Pride might have been going bankrupt and had business issues, and they wanted to sell to the UFC. That would be a guess. I don't know that for a fact, AD Kid, but I don't know if I want to look that up right now, but that might be worth looking into. Why did Strikeforce sell to the UFC and why did Pride sell to the UFC? Were they already looking to sell and UFC just bought it? Did UFC offer them like crazy money? What's the story behind why they sold? Because if they couldn't run their business and their business was going to go under and the UFC just bought it, it's not necessarily the UFC's fault and we could have never prevented that. Eric Gould says the harsh truth is that MMA never became a mainstream sport. UFC only became a mainstream brand. That's pretty true, Eric. I mean, that's pretty true, homie. That's pretty true. AD Kid says, yeah, the fighters having sponsors made everyone more hype and interested in MMA. But not only that, AD Kid, it gave people an incentive to want to be a fighter. It gave these guys incentive to want to be a fighter. You can get one of these big sponsorship deals, right? There was a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. Not that it's like, oh, I'm going to become a fighter because I can get sponsored by Nike. But it's like, I don't know, man. It made it a more lucrative sport. Can I say that? When the fighters were able to get sponsors, the sport was more lucrative. The sport for fighters is even less lucrative now. And it's been like 10 years, bro. How the fuck does a sport regress in being lucrative for fucking fighters? It literally has regressed. Tom D says they say Dana burnt out his dopamine receptors from all of the high stakes gambling he does nowadays. Seems like he gets more excited talking about his gambling adventures than he does the UFC. Honestly, I thought you were joking, Tom D, at first, but that kind of makes sense to me. Dana's just this fucking numb baldy now. Shit, if Dana's this numb ass fucking baldy, get him the fuck out. I'm honestly done with him. I never thought I'd say that, bro. I always thought, like, dude, we need Dana. Nah, bro, I'm low key pretty much done with him. Like, I'd settle for Chael Sonnen. I'd have to really consider if I want to settle for a guy like DC. But I'd settle for a guy like Chael Sonnen. I'd settle for a Conor McGregor, right? But I think you need to be a bit older. So I like a Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen understands the business very well. You know, Dana stopped promoting years ago. What up, Saxby? I know, homie. I'm just calling it out. I think it does need to be called out. Saxby, Masvidal leaked bullshit, so people start talking about him. Then maybe Masvidal gets the fights. Saxby, you got to hear what I said about it earlier. I think it is going to happen. Contrary to your belief, I think it is going to happen. The big names like Hamza and Islam will not fight in White House in the administration. Islam and Hamza would humiliate them and say some crazy shit. Yeah, so I mean, hence the need for other big names like Masvidal and Conor, who are both currently still under contract with the promotion, unlike a guy like Nate Diaz, unfortunately. Jarrett saying, thanks, bro. I mean, no problem, homie. No problem. Shit. Anyone else want to thank me? I don't know what you're thanking me for, but you got it, homie. You got it. Saxby Masvidal is on board with Team Trump. Nate is not with that shit. They can't control him. And that's why I think Masvidal is going to fight at White House. And Conor's going to fight at White House. You know, it's a match made in heaven. Saxby says Conor wants Nate, but the White House wants Masvidal versus Conor. There we go, Saxby. All right. The more messages I read from Saxby, he's getting on point. Dana does not want Conor in White House, but Conor has contact with the team in White House. And I would add to that, Saxby, Dana's running out of options. Dana don't got too many options. He hasn't built stars. We've been talking about this for 20 minutes plus. He hasn't built stars, you know? And so finally it's biting him in the fucking ass, rightfully so. I love to see it. Conor will be helped with his cases, and they make Conor the new Tommy Robinson. He doesn't have any open cases right now, Saxby. Dale, what's up? Have I missed much? Not much, homie. Not at all. Not at all. I was just talking about why I think Masvidal Conor is actually going to happen, even though it hasn't been officially announced. I was giving my reasons why. And then I just started calling out the UFC for being boring as fuck 17 days into the Big 26. I mean, I think it does need to be called out, and that's what I'm doing. Tom D, oh God, that Ortega Dern Golden Globe bit was difficult to watch. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, there's absolutely nothing to say about it, Tom D, other than like, you know, it set us back centuries. That was terrible. That was absolutely fucking terrible. Saxby saying Dana doesn't care anymore. He only cares about gambling. True. Once again, everybody liked that fucking stream. Come on now, boys. Come on now, boys. Run up that fucking like number on that stream. Get it to 20. You feel me? Derek says Ortega's trash now. He peaked during the fight with Volk, been downhill after. I agree with you, Derek. I mean, Ortega's way past his prime. A bit of a fall off, a bit of a very disappointing fall off, but let that be a lesson. Let that be a lesson that, same as Tony Ferguson, right? These guys who rely on their toughness, right? It's not a lot, very, the longevity for the career is very low. Okay. If you rely on your toughness and your grit and your will, I mean, it will get you wins early on in your career and when you're younger and when you're in your prime. But at the end of the day, skills pay the bills. And once your toughness goes away, right, and fades with age, you turn into a Brian Ortega, you turn into a Tony Ferguson. Okay. So just understand that. A lot of fighters will rely on their toughness, and yeah, they do great. They do great while they can, but at the end of the day, skills pay the bills. Skills pay the bills, and once that chin eventually wears down, you got nothing to rely on but the fucking skills. But not only the chin, the reaction times from relying on your chin for so long, right? The damage that accumulates, right? The neck damage, the little nicks and bruises, the injuries, right? From being so tough, taking leg kicks, taking head kicks, taking, blocking kicks, all this stuff, relying on your toughness, you know, results in having a very short lived career. Or, you can extend it like Brian Ortega, but you're not going to see any success, right? And then look at a guy like GSP. Contrast that to a GSP, a Jon Jones, you know, these guys who had longer careers. All the haters going to be like, no, no, no. But it's true. It's true. I'm standing 10 toes down on this one. Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz got it both. He does got real skills, but he also relies heavily on his chin. But as you guys can have seen, right? I mean, he's still a fucking cyclops. Don't get it twisted. But when Nate can't rely on his chin, he does have skills to fall back on. He does, like legit skills. Unlike Brian Ortega, unfortunately. Yeah, Brian Ortega got the jiu-jitsu, but he don't got judo, right? He don't got any takedowns. I mean, Nate does have judo. Never forget that. And Ortega really doesn't got that great at boxing. Let's keep it a buck. Let's just keep it a buck. I mean, yeah, he's done good in the past, but it's not on the level it needs to be. And now it's too late. And again, his boxing style sucks because it's mostly relied on fucking toughness. Kara MMA fangirl says, has Chandler reacted to the news that his Conor fight is not happening yet? No, he hasn't. At least I haven't seen it, Kara. And Chandler, he's all toxically positive. So I'm sure we'll hear some fucking toxically positive post from him after it soon. After Dana said that pretty soon here. Derek says definitely not DC. Yeah, fuck no, not DC. Juice Man says, yo, I seen you in MMA World channel. LOL. What the fuck did MMA World have to say about me, homie? You're the second person who told me that, Juice Man. I never watched MMA World once in my life. Tom D says so many other people would match better at Dana's job, or would be much better at Dana's job. Yeah, facts, bro. Dale says Brennan Schaub said he made around 100K per fight with sponsors. Criminal, they can't wear sponsors. I think Chuck Liddell said a spot on his shorts made him bank. Yeah, exactly, Dale. And that doesn't include the fight purse, right? So, like, it's just more bread for these fighters. And it's lame as fuck, bro. It's lame as fuck. UFC, you boys lame as fuck for that. You boys lame as fuck for that. Okay? Pull your heads out of your fucking asses and start paying your damn fighters before this whole sport goes under. Okay? Before this whole fucking sport goes under. Jew, what up? What up, homie? What's poppin', my brother? I'm just chopping it up with chat right now. That's what we up to. Wasn't any crazy news, but I do have a few funny things to show you guys. But the chat just be fucking popping at the moment. Maybe I should look what MMA World had to say about me. Saxby says Dana want to be a billionaire, but he can't because he burns his money away. So he settled with running the UFC as 9 to 5. He can never leave because of his debt. Dana's just a worker there and a face, so he does not care. He pull all the promotion on himself. Soda Pop says, I think Ortega will KO Moicano out cold. Okay. All right. It's a good fight, Soda Pop. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. I don't know about KO Moicano. I could see him using his toughness to beat a guy like Moicano, though. Moicano don't got that crazy of skills. He got decent skills, but I don't know. Shout out to Soda Pop, my man Soda Pop. Good to see you in the chat. I never really thought about a fight breakdown, so that's why I'm like a little bit lagged on responding to it. I just like, haven't considered how that fight would go. So I'm gonna give it to you, Soda Pop. I don't think he's gonna knock him out. I'm gonna say that, but I'll lean towards Ortega winning just because you said it. You also said they made Kyle versus Ritter co-main for UFC 326. Buck versus Shavkat was right there. Yeah, man. They gotta book that shit soon, bro. I mean, when are they gonna announce Buck's fight, Soda Pop? When the fuck they gonna announce it? Buck waiting. Buck waiting. Buck straight waiting for his fight to get announced. They don't got nothing for him. Tom D talking about the when I reacted initially to the Brian Ortega and Mackenzie Dern Golden Globes fucking disaster. Tom D says, I remember you got on stream and addressed it right away, bro. Cringe and set the sport back. It was, bro. It was terrible. What the fuck was that? Like a Spy Kids, a scene out of Spy Kids? Some of the goofiest shit I ever seen. That's all right though. And then with Brian Ortega, just, I love Brian, but just, it made it goofier with Brian there. Trying to like flex his blue eyes to the crowd. You feel me? Juice Man says Masvidal versus Conor is fireworks. I don't care what anyone says. No, it's a good fight. It's a good fight, brother. It'll be good. It'll be good, Juice Man. If I'm coming off just a little bit, quiet tonight, it's just like, I'm tired. It's a late night. I don't mean to keep telling you guys I'm tired, but I hopped on stream, you know what I mean? Didn't have much to say, but I'm giving you guys all I got. How about that? I'm giving you guys all I got. I'm almost conserving my energy for fight week coming up. This is like consider this stream in weightlifting terms as like active recovery, right? So right now you're seeing me a little bit more mellowed out because it's kind of like my active recovery day. All right, that's how I'm treating it right now. Today's a little bit of active recovery. I've been going crazy all week, breaking down the Nick Diaz drama. But not only that, I've been dealing with it on the back end of the streams too. Okay, you guys don't even know the fucking half of it. But I've been dealing with all the Nick Diaz drama all week. We got UFC 324 coming up basically tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is technically fight week. And so we gotta have our energy, our batteries charged for tomorrow for the rest of fight week. Tonight is active recovery, boys, all right? So understand that with your expectation with me tonight. If I seem a little bit not enthusiastic, I am, okay? But it's active recovery. I'm trying to stay mellow. Plus, keep in mind my fucking neighbor upstairs. Keep that in mind. Never forget that shit. Because she be bitching. She be texting me. And boys, my mom fucking called me today. She's like, "Oh my God, your neighbor upstairs, you know what I mean? Like the leasing office, like we can't afford any problems." And so it's like, ugh, you know what I mean? I got to try to be quiet because even my mom's giving me a hard fucking time about being loud with the neighbor. So now I got two people, you know what I mean, on my fucking ass about being loud at night. All right? So I'm just keeping it mellow. Active recovery night. All right? Active recovery night. Ortega's fighting Moicano, right? I think so, Saxby. I think so. Saxby says, a man should never go down on his knees like Chandler did. This fucked Chandler's confidence. Even Chandler's wife complains that he not the same man. When did Chandler go on his knees, Saxby? Just curious what you're talking about. Do you think Chandler will finally quit talking about fighting Conor? Hopefully. Hopefully Kara. I mean, Michael Chandler, he's just not who he like kind of like advertises himself to be. You know what I mean? He acts like he's like this big fucking promotional talent in the UFC, and it's like, Chandler, you're not that guy, buddy. You're not that fucking guy. Just fight the next guy in line. Like, you're not this box office guy like you think you are. Like, you're just not. You know, I'll take back what I said. He kind of is, because I think American fans do identify with Michael Chandler, but he's not who he thinks he is fully. He's not fully that guy. Saxby, always stay tall, boys. Don't bow down for opportunities. It will cost you in the end. Yeah, always stand tall. Don't bow down for opportunities. Shit, that's why Saxby gotta respect me. Because as we've already discussed, right? I didn't let my fandom get to me with dealing with the Nick Diaz situation. All right, I kept it all the way a buck and essentially burned my bridge with his ass because I kept it a buck. So, you know, always stand tall. Don't bow down for opportunities. I stood 10 toes down and I didn't bow down for an opportunity for Nick, right? He told me delete that video off my YouTube channel and I'll give you an interview. I said, fuck that. Okay. I said, fuck that. Right. I said, fuck that at least 5 times to them. Not those exact words, but I told Kayla multiple times I'm not taking it down. I told Nick multiple times I'm not taking it down. So, like, yeah, stand 10 toes down. That's why you boys better be respecting me. And, you know, on Instagram, when I do be posting these reels, we do got a lot of people disrespecting, but they would never dare come in this chat and let me mouth off on them. You feel me? They would never mouth off in that chat and then let me fucking fire back on them. That's what I was trying to say. Because they ain't ready for it. They ain't ready for it, and they know they're not. All they can do is argue with me in a little comment section. You feel me? And talk their little shit in there. But come in here, talk your shit, and you will get bodied if you come in here disrespecting the work. Juice Man says MMA World has been out for years. One of the first MMA news I got on since like before the pandemic. But yeah, you're in there today. Okay, I'll check it out, Juice Man. Is it my face or is it my reports from Instagram? Warspawn bro, Jalen Turner is underrated as fuck and couldn't KO him. Saxby Moicano has log out of the UFC and is happy. Brian Ortega, whole mental health and life is on the line in this fight. Ortega wants it more. Damn, Soda Pop's a trendsetter in here. Soda Pop name drops Ortega Moicano one time, and we got everybody talking about it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Warspawn says, the fuck would Ortega be able to do besides maybe grapple? I mean, it's a grappler versus striker matchup, is it not? I mean, I know Moicano has the jiu-jitsu, but Moicano got that Muay Thai, right? Moicano, the more well-rounded fighter. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Soda Pop says, got to find out who Buck is scrapping. We do got to find that out. We do got to find that out. I will find that out for you guys very soon. Okay? I will find out that for you guys very soon. Very soon. HT says Chandler is on suicide watch after hearing what Dana said. That's why he's been so quiet. He's trying to figure out how to spin this fucking narrative in his favor. The ultimate spokesman. I think playing some Minecraft could clear your brain and make you feel better. Nothing better than playing some Minecraft, man. Can I play that on my phone, Soda Pop, or I got to play that on like a PlayStation? I never played Minecraft. Somebody give me a good video game. Suggest me a game to lock in my mind. Saxby says, bro, is she texting you now? What the fuck? I mean, Saxby, you've been out of the chat for a few days. You've been out of the chat for a few days. When you say, is she texting you? Oh, yeah. The neighbor. Yeah, the neighbor's been texting me. The neighbor's been texting me, homie, yeah. Yeah, she been bitching when I'm fucking streaming late night, homie. Can you boys come over here and handle that shit for me? Like, just get her the fuck out of here. Can you guys do that for me? For the one time? Just go and uproot all her shit, get her the fuck out? I'm just playing. I'm just playing. In case she hears me, I'm just playing. Might as well have had Juliana Pena and Dariush at the Golden Globes. I mean, it would have been the same fucking thing, Derek. It would have been the same fucking thing. Juice Man laughing, saying, shh. I know, bro. It's fucking a disaster. Couldn't believe my mom called me today and mentioned that to me. I thought, if anything, my mom was going to mention the Nick Diaz story to me, but she knows that I don't like talking about work all the time. You know what I mean? When she calls me like that, I'd rather talk about regular shit. So I'm not surprised she didn't ask me about Nick. But of all the things that she would have brought up in relation to my stream, I expected her to bring up the Nick Diaz story, but instead she got on my ass about being loud late at night. So shout out to my mom. She's watching this right now. I mean, after she told me that, I was like, damn, this woman watches every stream, you know. And shout out to my mom. It's a good thing. So mom, I love you, okay? I'm not, keep watching all the streams. All right, keep watching them. It's not a problem. But I was like, just like, damn, like she really does pay attention, because these neighbor clips are like, like deep into the stream sometimes. Um you guys know I gotta fucking keep it quiet for her, so. Saxby says, I was here the night she knocked on the door. Yep, yep. Exactly, homie. Exactly. It's only been developing since then, homie. Only been developing since. I crossed paths with her on the staircase the other day, and we exchanged numbers so she could reach out if I'm ever loud, and boy, is she taking advantage of it. Dale says, tell the neighbor to get into UFC and bring her on the live stream so we can roast her, LOL. You know what, Dale? If she ever comes knocking on the damn door, I'm gonna be like, come into the live stream. Do you want to see what you're interrupting right now? Like, look what these boys got to say, and you boys just need to body her in the chat. Saxby says, yes, brother, I respect you. See you here every morning, so it motivated me to go to the gym first time 2026. Let's fucking go, Saxby. Let's go, my man. Saxby, my man. Much love to you, Saxby. Much love, much love to you, Saxby. That just excited the fuck out of me. I just went blank for a second because I was just excited for Saxby going to the gym. But Saxby says, a new chick makes a person less motivated. I mean, it kind of does, right? Because when you get that new chick, you're fucking saying no to a lot of shit, aren't you, Saxby? I've been there before. You get a new chick, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take this day off. She texts me a day. I want to kick it with her. Yeah, I'll cut the stream off early so I can go kick it with her. You feel me? A new chick does make you less motivated. It kind of sucks. It's a terrible byproduct. I think that's what a lot of people don't realize with women, is that, like, I'm telling you, if you're locked in and shit like that, I mean, like it's hard to explain, and I don't know if I really want to get into it. I'm thinking about whether I do want to get into it. I will get into it. All right. When you're trying to hit up a chick, but you're also locked in, I mean, bro, there's so much, like, what's the word? Bandwidth that hitting up a woman takes from you. So much bandwidth that it takes from you. You definitely become, I don't know if it's you become less motivated, but you just start, like, locking in less because you're giving this time to this fucking chick, and it takes time, you know what I mean, to get what you want out of it. So yeah, that's the thing with women. I don't know if it's less motivated, but, like, they do take away from, you basically achieving goals and shit like that. Like, they definitely take away from it. Like, you can't be, like, actively getting with chicks every week, like a new chick every week, and, like, be locked in like me. Let's just put it like that. Let's just put it like that. You feel me? Let's just put it like that. Um about the whole Nick Diaz drama and Jake Paul talking about you, I think. Oh, damn, Juice Man and Jake Paul? Jarrett saying, I find it hard to believe that phone call between Kay and Sano's ex. Jarrett, why? Why? Why, Jarrett? I got a full 19-minute phone call of it. I got the full 19-minute phone call of it. If you don't believe the 3 minutes, I got the full 19, homie. I got the full 19, homie. Juice Man says Jake Shields. Oh, Jake Shields talking about you. I think I got you. Oh, how funny. How funny. I can almost read between those fucking lines, Juice Man. Juice Man, tell me what they really said. Tell me what they really said, because if they talked about Nick Diaz and then they talked about Jake Shields and ended it there, then it would almost insinuate that they believe Jake Shields over me, which would make them fucking bitches, number one. Number two, bird brains. Okay. And number three, enemies of mine. Okay, so I just want to know, we're going to have to go tap into that because I can almost read between the lines of what Juice Man's saying. Talked about the whole Nick Diaz drama and Jake Shields talking about you. Well, did they clear it up or not? Why even bring up that stupid ass Jake Shields in my fucking post anyway? Jake Shields didn't do shit. Jake Shields didn't fucking say nothing. And he never responded back to me. He ducked me too. Who would have thought in the Big 26 I'm getting ducked by Jake Shields, Nick Diaz. I'm not even going to drop Kayla's name in there. Oh, now you got me fucking fired up, bro. Now you got me fired up. I'm telling you guys, don't, like, I'm not, okay, you know what? I'm going to refrain from assuming. Before I pop my shit, let me not assume, because I was just about to start popping my shit. What is this fucking channel? MMA World, you say? Diaz family drama, question mark, exclamation mark. Shocking report claims Nick versus Nate Diaz feud is exploding. I scrolled to the bottom at the perfect fucking timing. HT, aka Word One, says MMA World believes the Diaz and not you, Jay. I got the DMs to prove it. I got the DMs to prove it.
Speaking to MMAJunkie.com, Masvidal said, "Some of it is like level 5 only access, so I can't really say too much, but I am training for something big. You never know, right? Give them what they want, not what they expect. I can say it's some big news. I have some fight news coming soon, and it's very big news. I can't deny or confirm."
I'm eating.
Yeah, she's eating. Tell him something. Junior, tell him something. Yo.
Jake Shields and Nate Diaz react as reports of a Nick and Nate Diaz feud began circulating online. So Naughty, where's my post at? Where the fuck is my post at?
An Instagram post from Perry Punch read,
There we go. Shout out. Shout out. Make sure you fucking say that name twice.
Nick Diaz and Nate Diaz are officially beefing after Nick left a sober living facility in San Diego, following his release from rehab in Mexico, and chose to elope to Las Vegas to marry his girlfriend and now wife, Kayla Ramos. In short, the Diaz brothers are beefing over two things. One, rehab. Nick is upset that Nate didn't bail him out of rehab sooner and let him stay in there for over a year. Nate is upset Nick is going against his family's wishes and skipped out on sober living in San Diego after his release from rehab in Mexico. 2. The gym. Nick is upset that Nate took over his gym and his students in his absence and even renamed the gym Nate Diaz Academy. Nate feels as though he's held it down for everyone and kept the business alive in Nick's absence. Jake Shields commented on the post saying, "Why are you making up bullshit? I was with Nick yesterday and talked to Nate today." Meanwhile, their strength and conditioning coach Jose Garcia also chimed in saying, "Nate not beefing with Nick. Nate is focused on his family. What Nick does is on Nick. Nate minding his own family first. Don't spread there's beef with Nick and Nate. All brothers fight. Nate is respectful of what Nick decided to do with his life. Nate wants Nick to do what Nick wants to do in his life." Nate Diaz reacted to reports of feud with his brother by simply posting a childhood photo of him with his brother Nick Diaz.
Yeah, Nate Diaz did react to my report. Shout out to Nate Diaz. Shout out to Nate Diaz. And you know what? Like I said, I'm good in Stockton.
Oh my God.
I'm good in Stockton. If I was capping, wouldn't Nate Diaz want to slap my ass? If I was capping, if I was lying, wouldn't Nate Diaz want to slap my ass? He already told me he won't do it. I told him I would understand if he does want to slap me just for exposing the truth. But he told me he wouldn't do it. Now, here's my reaction to the Mr. MMA World. Okay, here's my reaction to it. It's not as serious as it was in the beginning. As long as he wasn't trying to paint me as fake news, and he's not. He's not. But let me react to this real quick. So, MMA World posting about the Nick Diaz thing, right? And then he is sharing the responses to it. He's not wrong to share responses to it. By any means, he's not wrong. But really what this shows is that he hasn't been tapped into the streams. And that's his own issue. I mean, it's no problem with me that you're not tuning into the streams. You're just going to be uneducated on this topic, and that's why you don't know where to stand, and that's why you think you're trying to be fair by being like, okay, here's what Perry Punch had to say, here's what the teammates responded, Jake Shields, Nate Diaz, and BBJ Ninja Recovery, right? This dude doesn't know what to think. So he's just posting everything people are saying. But we all know confidently. I mean, this ain't no fucking gimmick. This ain't no nothing, bro. We all know what to think by now. We all know what to think by now. And we all know what side to be on and what side to choose. And it's not Nick's side, right? It's not Nick's side. We're on Nate's side. We're on the family side. Okay? And that's point blank, period. We found the truth. We uncovered it. Nick is beefing with Nate. That's for damn sure. Nick is upset with Nate because why? I wrote it all down. He didn't come and bail him out of rehab. Okay, so these are all bottom line. And, homie just hasn't been tapped into the streams. He's trying to post everybody's responses to act like he's covering it fair. And not to act like he's covering it fair, to cover it as fair as he can to the best of his knowledge. Like I said, he can only operate with what he's seen. And it's clear as day he hasn't been watching the streams, or else he would know, you know what I mean, what side to be on. But he's trying to show both sides here. So it's perfectly fine. It's not that big of a deal. But we know what side to be on, and we, right, figured it out. We got to the bottom of it, and that's all that matters to me. That is all that matters to me, is we got to the bottom of it, right? And I'm honestly, like, I don't really need to talk about it anymore. So, like, I'm good with it. I'm even good on, like, I don't even want to do no more speculating on it. I'll do interviews. If anybody from Team Diaz wants to come on and, who's been in this situation, Martin the Spartan Sano, Nick, Kayla, Cousin Ruben, you feel me? BBJ, Martin's fucking, I already said Kayla, didn't I? Martin himself. I mean, if any of these people want to come on and do an interview, we can do that. But at the end of the day, I already got to the bottom of all of this. I know what side we're all on, what side to be on. I mean, guys, the bottom line is Nick skipped out on rehab. And isn't that funny too? Why don't you guys report that Nick skipped out on sober living in San Diego? Everybody reports, what they want to report, right? Nick is, they all report that Nick married his wife, Kayla, but they don't really speak about how he skipped out on sober living to do that. He was supposed to be there for a month. He skipped out on sober. The true story is Nick didn't just marry Kayla. Nick skipped out of sober living to go marry Kayla. So, people could be reporting on a lot of things, but they're not, and that's okay. That's okay. I do my own thing. I'll be reporting on it. I'm the only show in town because these clowns won't fucking report on the real news that I'm putting out there. So, I'm the only show in town. But they could be reporting on Nick skipping out on sober living and shit like that. They could be doing that. And what was I going to say? I had something to say. I had something to say about Nick or something like that. Oh, I'm just over, like, I don't need to talk about it anymore. I don't need to speculate anymore. like I was saying a second ago, I'm down to do interviews, but that's about it. Like I don't even need to talk about this topic anymore. It's already been deciphered by me. I've already figured it all out. I got to the bottom of it. And, I'm cool. I'm cool with Team Diaz. That's the funniest part about it all. I'm cool with Team Diaz. There ain't no beef, there ain't no problems. So if there was, that would indicate that I'm reporting fake news, right? But I'm not. Jarrett says, is Nick lying or telling the truth about lighting incense? Jarrett, that's a great question. I'll answer your question, but I'm not going to answer your specific question because the incense don't really matter, right? Nick is lying that he doesn't have a drug problem, that he wasn't hooked on fucking serious hardcore drugs before he went into rehab. That's what Nick's lying about. Nick says he doesn't have a drug problem. There weren't a bunch of drugs in his system before he went into rehab, and that's not true. Nick is lying about that. Nick is lying about that. Nick is lying about that. Nick could have been dead. Nick could have been dead if he didn't go to rehab. So we don't give a fuck about no incense. Nick had a serious drug problem before he went into rehab, point blank, period. I've seen it with my own two eyes. Okay, I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've seen video evidence, video proof. Not just one video, but multiple videos. More than two. How about that? More than two videos I've seen. How about this? How about this? Give me a second here. How about we take a look at one of the cameo videos he was doing? Let's see one of his cameo videos before he went in. Because it doesn't matter the small details. It doesn't matter about the small details that Nick wants to focus on, whether he was lighting incense or grass on fire. That's besides the point, right? We all want to know, were you methed out on fucking drugs before you went in there? And yes, he was methed out on drugs before he went in there. I'm gonna show you guys. I have way more concrete proof and evidence than this, but I'm just gonna show you guys. Damn, I got a call. I need to fucking call back. I'm just going to show you guys the type of cameos and condition Nick was in. The type of cameos Nick was sending out, right? And the type of condition he was in. Before he checked into rehab. Okay. Here's a cameo from Nick before he checked into rehab.
I listen to a lot of different things when I work out. I don't know. It's a good one. Hey, you know what? Maybe you should try. What's his name? Oh man, I can't remember. Bob Seger. I listen.
So when Jarrett says, "Oh, that's for sure hard drugs," 100%, 100%, 100%. I'm telling you it with 100% certainty. To the point. Let me put it like this. Let's take it to this point, right? I'm telling you it with 100% certainty, right? To the point where if Nick were to come at me and call me a liar, okay, and try to sue me, I would be innocent because I could just provide video proof. I mean, how much more like certified can I try to be for you guys? Literally. I'm telling you it. If Nick wants to sue me for defamation, right, or slander that he wasn't on drugs, it's one video away. One video away, and I win the lawsuit. Okay? So just understand like what's at hand when I make these claims. You feel me? This ain't no like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't really care to gossip about him. You know what I mean?
Listen to a lot of different things gonna work out. I don't know. It's a good one. Hey, you know what? Maybe you should try. What's his name? What's his name? Oh man, I can't remember. Bob Seger. Bob Seger.
Okay, so I really don't mean to like do that. But it's just like people don't know what side to fall on still. Even MMA world doesn't know what side to fall on. Oh my god, I put this in Perry Punch fam is crazy. 1 second. 1 second, 1 second. Let me delete this out of there. Yeah, I didn't mean to send it in there. But yeah, I mean, what other proof can I provide for you? There is no need to give you guys more proof. Now, what I'll show you guys next is a couple things. Well, one, I guess we can play Jon Jones reacting to Alex Pereira's call out, or you know, the tire shop thing.
I've beat a lot of legends from your country, my friend. I know you'd love to avenge the boys, but boy, would you be a good one to add to my list. Be careful what you wish for. Trauma. I've beat a lot.
Jarrett saying, heard. It's tough, though, to tell the difference between CTE, stuttering, and being on hard drugs unless you're talking about another video. I mean, Jarrett, homie, just rewind the video. It's not that hard to fucking tell, bro. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to come to a fucking opinion, homie. Come on, bro. Look at that fucking video. Jarrett, you need to exercise being real more. Okay, and it's gonna need to start with you looking at that Nick Diaz video again and making a definitive fucking opinion about it. All right, being real ain't fucking easy, bro. It ain't fucking easy. It's like a muscle you gotta like work on too. A lot of people are scared to be real, and honestly, Jarrett, you know I don't got nothing against you, but it's like I feel like you're scared to be real right now. Look at you still being like, is it CTE? Is it stuttering? Being hard on drugs, bro, bro. Look at it again and just be real with yourself. You don't got to tell me what you think, homie. And unless you're talking about another video, bro, I'm not going to show you the other videos I have. Okay? I'm not going to show you them. There's no need to. I'm telling you it. You can believe it, you know what I mean? You can not believe it. You're having a hard time. I can tell. You're like, "Oh, thanks that's for sure hard drugs." Bro. Bro. Yes, bro. Yes, like what is the question here, Jarrett? I mean, I've proven it like so many times. Nick's got a problem, bro. He's not supposed to be out right now. He's supposed to be in sober living. Soda Pop, I didn't read your chat earlier, so I'll read it again. You said, isn't Martin Sano the guy who got slumped cold in 7 seconds by Semi the Jedi? Yes, he is. That's exactly who he is, homie. Zesty Jones, straight Zesty Jones. Reacting to this news isn't even as entertaining as the clips I made today. It's crazy. Like, my page is more exciting than hearing these headlines. There's like one other one. There's like a Sean Strickland headline. Homie. Homie. How me? Sodapot says he doesn't care about the Diaz bros there before his time. Sodapot, come on, bro. You got to care about the Diaz legends. The legends Diaz's. The legend Diaz bros. Sean Strickland. So Sean Strickland, you know, he called out the UFC production team for gaying him out. You know what I mean? Stop gaying out, homie. Sodapod says, I've seen one Nate Diaz fight live and one Nick fight live. Damn, I've never seen one of their fights live. Sodapod, how the fuck you get bread to go to these fights, bro?
So I'm on my way to film with the UFC, guys, and I hate filming with the UFC because it's all fucking fraudulent, right? It's like, you know, me unedited, they won't play any of that shit. So at the end of the day, it's like, all right, UFC, tell me what you want me to say. I know you need content to put on YouTube or B-roll, so just tell me what you want me to say. I'll fucking say it, and then I can get on with my day.
All right, and speaking about gayed out, right? Speaking about the UFC gaying out Sean Strickland. Fruit of the Loom, RIP, they've also been gayed out, according to Bryce Mitchell. They've also been gayed out. Oh, Soda Pop, you're just saying you watch their fights live. Not like in person, but you watch their fights. I got you. So Bryce Mitchell had this to say.
I woke up today and quickly found out who I was going to be mad at. It's Fruit of the Loom. I'm not ever doing no business with Fruit of the Loom ever again. Reason being is because I'm a lifelong customer of Fruit of the Loom, and they took away the cornucopia and then lied about it. It's not the fact that they took the cornucopia away, okay? Which honestly, it does need to be there in the logo because it really does complete the look more. Honestly, there's a reason that the cornucopia was there. It's because it looks great. But the fact is that they lied about it. And I'm done with it. I'm not doing no business with no liars. Y'all can go to hell. There was a cornucopia. And I don't know what your incentive is to lie about it. I don't know how much the government paid you to take away the cornucopia and act like it wasn't ever there. I don't care, because you'll never make a penny off of me again. You can go to hell as far as I'm concerned. I know that Fruit of the Loom had that cornucopia. And I'm not ever buying your product again. That's right. You evil bastards. I woke up today and quickly found out who I was going to be mad at. It's Fruit of the Loom.
What's the caption say? Am I crazy, or did Fruit of the Loom not have a cornucopia? Do y'all remember it? I swear I do. Who thinks they're lying? I'm done with Fruit of the Loom for lying to me. I'm tired of the lies. I'm done with this shit. Let's take this country back one pair of undies at a time. Did Fruit of the Loom get rid of the cornucopia? Who even knows what a cornucopia is?
People talking about this though. So I think the one on the right without the horn is the actual logo, and the other one is the not so actual logo.
Yep, the one on the right without the cornucopia is the correct logo, and this is a Mandela effect. So I put up on YouTube, does the Fruit of the Loom logo have a cornucopia in it? Was the question. 54% of people guessed yes. The answer is technically no. And we're going to get into more of the research, but one person even wrote in there, well, it did, and several people have posted it, so change the answer because you're wrong, bruh. Bruh. So Fruit of the Looms, Fruit of the Loom, they actually wrote a post back in 2023 confirming the Mandela, and this is what the post said, quote, the Mandela effect is real. The cornucopia in our logo is not.
There you go.
Now, this is an actual still.
I remember that commercial.
It's a screenshot from one of the Fruit of the Loom commercials. You'll notice there is no cornucopia right here. And these are back from the 80s.
It's like a packet of cocaine.
You'll notice this one here, no cornucopia as well. And then the company even posted a timeline of their logos on the website, showing that there has never actually been any sort of a cornucopia. Yeah, so take that, bruh. Well, and here's the thing. I find it interesting that people are willing to agree with a random picture online so easily. When for me, I got a feeling that some of these images of people posting, I think I've got, so there's one where somebody actually has a Fruit of the Loom that shows the cornucopia.
Oh, it's bootleg.
That's my thought.
That's bootleg.
Is that I'm wondering if this is a knockoff.
Yeah.
And so it does have the cornucopia. But the thing that's really mind-blowing here, keep away from fire, by the way.
Evaluate, by the way.
The thing that was really
definitely bootleg.
the thing that was really mind-blowing with a lot of this stuff is the fact that there are people who remember having conversations with their parents in the 80s about what the hell that thing was.
Really?
At least that's what they're posting about online. Again, it's the internet. So you got to take it with a gigantic.
What's a cornucopia? Like a ham? That looks like a fucking ham that they serve on Thanksgiving. Anyway, we're moving past that. The last stuff of the day that I will show you, boys, are the clips that I posted. Shit, shout out to Steve Buckley. First time on live chat, long time watcher and lurker. Good day from down under. My man, Steve Buckley. Shit, homie, you chose the day where I'm like least energy, where it's active recovery stream. That's all right. I'm glad that you're in the chat. Shit. Pop into the chat more often, homie, if you got the time. You know, while you're watching, if you got the time, if you got questions, if you got comments, pop in the chat, homie. More than welcome. But if you just like to watch and listen, nothing wrong with that either. I'm glad you popped in the chat to say what's up, though. Always love to hear from you guys. And it still kind of trips me out to hear that, like, some of you guys have been long-time watchers and shit like that. You feel me? Trips me out sometimes, but I love to hear it. So thanks for letting me know that. Still a mad show. My man, Steve. Hey, it's about to get a little bit more mad to end the night. But, you know, that's typical fashion over here, right? Typical fashion. Sup, Buck, exactly. Eric Gould says, Bryce has too much time on his hands. He low-key does. He low-key does. Juice Man saying, homie to Steve. Yep. Steve the homie. Franklin says, now I get to feel stupid. The fuck is a cornucopia? I'll look it up. Yeah, or I can do it. I got you, homie. What is a cornucopia? A cornucopia, or horn of plenty, is a horn-shaped container overflowing with fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains, symbolizing abundance, nourishment, and prosperity, with roots in Greek mythology and strong ties to harvest festivals, especially Thanksgiving. Oh, okay, yeah. See what I mean? I said it gave Thanksgiving vibes. Cheers, legends. My man, Steve Buckley. Cheers to you, homie, from down under. I do these streams so late here in America that I think I have a lot of people from down under watching. Because it's morning time for you guys over there. Even like fucking Saxby. I think it's like morning time for him over there in Sweden. And then, you know, we got Soda Pop on the East Coast. Typical wake up time for Soda Pop, about 3:30 a.m. Eastern. One of the wildest sleep schedules I ever seen, Mr. Soda Pop. Wake up about 3:30 a.m. Eastern. Me, on average, boys, if you were curious, I go to bed around 3:30 p.m. Pacific. Okay? So essentially the same time of day that Soda Pop starts his day, I fucking end my day. I usually go to bed around 3:30 Pacific. and don't ask what I'm doing. I'm just up fucking jerking around. You feel me? I'm just up jerking off fucking late night. And now that's up to you guys to decide. Am I being literal when I say I'm up late night till 3:30 a.m. jerking off? Or am I saying, you know what I mean? I'm just up to some bullshit. That's up for you guys to decide. It could be either one. It could be either one. Steve saying what's poppin' to Ruthless because Soda Pop said what's up to him. Franklin cornucopia, ancient sign of abundance. Okay, yep, like riding the ducks over the kings. Let's go. Let's go. That's not healthy war spawn MMA. Me going to bed at 3:30. Wait, me going to bed at 3:30 or me jerking off till 3:30? Which one war spawn? How funny is that? What if I was just up jerking it till 3:30 a.m. every night? Just like 3 hours of straight jerking. That would be wild. Obviously, guys, if you haven't figured out by now, I'm just fucking around. I'm on my phone, doom scrolling. But yeah, I don't get tired till like 3:30 a.m. I want you guys to say that though. Next time you're at work or something like that and someone's fucking around, fucking off, be like, bro, stop jerking off. All right? They're going to love it. They're going to love it. Next time you're at work and someone's jerking off, call them out for fucking jerking off, please. And just shock everyone. Everyone's going to look at you. They're going to be like, what the fuck did you just say? Say it again. Be like, I told him to stop fucking jerking off. They're going to know exactly what you meant. But here's Nick. All right, so I clipped this off because people want to say too, right? People want to say, oh, you know, BBJ, he refuted my claims about the beef and all that. So, you know, the team must not like fuck with me. Look at the team commenting. The team fuck with me, bro. The team fuck with me. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're sensitive to the Nate Diaz beef, but they're behind me. On everything I'm saying, they're behind me. They're with me. We are together. We are one. Jacob reacts to Martin Sano Jr. being with Nick Diaz and his wife 24/7, getting cucked in the corner. Go home, homie. Nick and Kayla posted up on Nick's story last night. Martin Sano getting cucked in the corner. Now, I just have one question. Everybody left. Everybody went home. What the fuck is Martin Sano still doing here? Go home, homie. Go home. Unless you guys are in some type of love triangle. Martin Sano is with these guys 24/7. Go home, homie. Jake Shields went home. It's the three of them. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Martin Sano's still with them. He woke up with them. He goes to bed with them. Martin Sano with them 24/7. What the hell is the deal with that? But no one wants to question that, really, right? No one wants to question that. It's crazy, though, how no one literally asked the damn question. Why the fuck is Martin Sano with this guy 24/7? Nick and Kayla just got married, the newlyweds, and this guy won't leave them the fuck alone. I mean, I would imagine they're trying to honeymoon to some degree. What the fuck does homie do? Nick, fresh out of rehab, marrying his chick. I mean, against his family wishes, you know, side note. But he gets out of rehab, marries his chick with Martin Sano 24/7. I mean, are they just going to the same house together? Who knows where they're staying? But it's like, Martin Sano, homie. Go home, homie. And Nick, go home as well. Everybody go the fuck home. Everybody go the fuck home, all right? Martin Sano, go home. Nick, go back home to Stockton. Kayla, I don't exactly know where to tell you to go, but go back to your family home. The gig is up. This shit's a fucking disaster. But here's Nick. Steve saying, dead set weird if you ask me. It's super weird, bro. It's super weird. I mean, this is giving love triangle. This is giving love cult. Okay, I just want to know who the fuck's the ringleader. Is it fucking Martin Sano or is it Kayla? I honestly can't figure it out, but this is giving cult. I mean, bro. the separation from the family is crazy, and on both ends too. Martin Sano is a deadbeat ass father. Martin Sano is a deadbeat father. Okay, and speaking of this, since we're on this one, BBJ Ninja Recovery, he comments, Gay Sano is Nick Diaz's top fanboy. He wants to sleep with all the women that Nick dates. Okay, BBJ saying this. Then Average Joe says that voice recording you posted of Kayla talking when she was high about her pussy and how she's with both Nick and Martin was weird as fuck. Looks like Martin Sano and Kayla were both really squatty in Nick's home while he was in rehab. Nick only married Kayla so he wouldn't be forced back into rehab. Look like Kayla and Martin are Nick's enablers. This whole love triangle is weird. BBJ says they got Nick trapped. Kayla denying it was her on the audio tape. She's saying it's AI. Fucking Jose been watching the streams now. Jose been watching the streams now. Look at him. Look at him. Jose been watching the streams. He's tapped in. She's saying it's AI. There's only one way Mr. Jose knows that. It's through watching the streams. So this person goes, LOL, Kayla was high as a kite on that audio tape. No way, that was AI. So Nick and Kayla eloped and got married in Vegas and randomly brought Martin along for the honeymoon. LOL, question mark. What the fuck is going on? We know you're cool with Nate and still have love for Nick, but how come people like Jake Shields are not saying anything and taking pictures with them? The Scrap Pack needs to help Nick out, man. The fans, and I'm sure his real friends, want what's best for him. Whatever is going on is strange. Nick deserves to live a fruitful life with what he's accomplished in MMA. I just hope you guys keep trying to help Nick. If Nick truly wants to be with Kayla, whatever, I guess that's fine. The heart wants what it wants, but you guys need to check Martin and keep him away. Just keep Nick busy with training the next generation, MMA speaking sermons, running marathons, getting weed sponsors, and possibly having a podcast. A Scrap Pack podcast would be awesome, and fans would definitely tune in. Just don't give up on him. Show him there's more to life than what he currently knows. At Gilbert, at Jake, at Nate. I mean, fuck tagging Jake. Jake a lost cause. But this one homie had one of the most retarded takes I heard in a long time. He goes, crazy to think that a guy gets out of rehab and one of his homies stays with him all the time to possibly help him and keep an eye on him. Am I missing something? This seems like a solid homie. Yeah, you're missing something huge, and I ain't finna explain it to you. Everyone's saying real shit, though. You can't go home if you ain't got a home. I love Nick, but yeah, you're right. He should go back to Nate and the rest of his real family. Who is Jacob Castro? You know, you got to drop that in there for the one time. Apparently they're a throuple and she's trans. She's blackmailing Nick. Bad situation, homie. Shit, I think homie was in the stream last night. CJ says, for real, bro, this is getting out of hand. Who fucking cares? We all care. Cuck cherry emoji. Gotta love it. Then someone says, this is the same chick that was squatting in his house while it was up for auction with another dude. Another man goes, his wife, or they tag Nate. And they said his wife, let me read that. They tagged Nate and they said Nick's wife, saying he's in a three-way relationship. Please help your brother. I was blocked by these clowns through Nick's IG account. Shit, so was I. This girl TLC says his prostitute wife is the one who said that the three of them are in a relationship. Yeah, and it's giving it. It's giving it. Steve says, bro, Sano and Nick's girl were squatting at Nick's house and not paying property taxes or the mortgage. Diamond Cards West says this Jacob Castro guy is a clown. So, yeah, that's that. BBJ Ninja Recovery, I want to go through his stories real quick because he posted something very interesting. Okay, so BBJ Ninja Recovery reacted to this thing of combat killers where they reacted to Nick and Martin Sano and the wife. They said Nick Diaz's new wife has been having a relationship with his teammate Martin Sano Jr. They admitted Nick into rehab and moved into his house, sold his stuff to survive, and only got him out when they were running low on money. Spartan Sano posted his comment on his story. He goes, Spartan Sano is a scumbag. He'd been hating Nick and doing shit behind his back. Okay. Then he adds, because, you know, BBJ, let's just, God damn it, this is so fucking difficult. There's this rumor going around. Of Nick being blackmailed. Okay, I'm actually not gonna I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But I'm gonna read to you what's on. If you know the context of this, you know the context of it. If you don't, find it out somewhere else. I'm sorry, guys. You know I don't mind. I don't give a fuck. But like I gotta draw a line at some point, and like I'm not gonna explain all this shit. But I'm gonna read out to you BBJ Ninja Recovery's story. He goes, Nick Diaz is not gay. Nick has CTE, so he acting like a dumbass. Martin Sano Jr. is gay, hella gay. He wears makeup, eyeliner, mascara, and a thong. Hashtag no cap. I mean, these are crazy accusations for my man BBJ Ninja Recovery. But shit, Martin Sano might be zesty. Here he is. Martin Martin, quote unquote, gay, Sano Jr. Before meeting Nick, after meeting Nick. Look at the eyeliner and mascara. Gay as can be, homeless bum. Okay, so clearly BBJ not fucking with Martin Sano. And I think rightfully so. Now, this is the atomic bomb they dropped on Martin Sano. Talking about BBJ Ninja Recovery, aka Jose Garcia. Now look at the top of that document. Clark County, MS, M. Sano, right? Martin Sano, and K. Ramos. Do you see? So these are official documents. State of Nevada versus Sano Martin Jr. This clown beat up Kayla. So Martin Sano allegedly, I mean, according to these court documents, according to BBJ Ninja Recovery, you know, there's a warrant. There's a warrant, a bench warrant, out on Martin Sano. Let me just read this whole thing to you. Okay. This clown beat up Kayla. Defendant Martin Sano Jr. Other agency numbers 716-3293 Justice Court identifier. State of Nevada. Charges on Martin Sano Jr. 1. Domestic battery, first offense. 2. Coercion constituting domestic violence with physical force. 3. Domestic battery, first offense. Active domestic violence warrant. Okay. Martin Gay Sano is a woman beater. Las Vegas court bench warrant. DA picked up the charges on Gay Sano. I'm not gonna lie, Jose's killing me with this Gay Sano shit. He's killing me with it.
Back to me and my soldier.
Look, Jose about to get busy for Nick. Or for Nate. Look, Jose about to get busy for Nate. I told you guys. Jose really bowed it. You guys saw that, right? You guys saw Jose get busy for Nick or for Nate right there. Jose straight cold cocked me. Look, we got another angle of it. Look at Jose cold cock homie. Look at Jose cold cock homie. 2 angles. Boom! Don't fuck with Jose. Jose fucking cold cock homie.
You fight.
I've fought plenty. I've fought plenty of people. I've fought plenty of people.
Gotcha, bitch.
People, bro.
Shut the fuck up. Who have you fought? You fight.
I've fought plenty. I've fought plenty of people. I've fought plenty of people.
Gotcha, bitch.
People, bro.
Shut the fuck up. Who have you fought?
Shout out to Jose Garcia. I be fucking with him more by the day. Homie's an OG now. Shout out to Unk. Much love to Unk. And since we're on the Gay Sano, the Martin Sano topic, let's get into it. Here's 2 days ago. BBJ posts domestic violence offender, credit card fraud, and scam. Nick Diaz fans, karma is not done. Hashtag broke, hashtag KO, hashtag fraud, hashtag domestic violence restraining order. Yeah, fucking Jose's funny as fuck. You gotta give it to him. He's funny as fuck. He's not even trying to be funny. But that shit is funny as fuck. We already been through this. We're not gonna go through that again. And if any want to know if Jose and Nick fuck with each other, here's them rolling up in the fucking Tesla right here.
Just singing a girl song, dog.
Not the Tesla.
Okay. Let's come.
Okay, so they fuck with each other. Nate and Jose, day one homies, bro. Day one homies. Don't get it twisted. Nate cosigns, he cosigns fucking Jose. Let's put it like that. All right, that's pretty much going to be the stream, though, boys. Now, Steve is asking, why is Jake Shields so quiet? And here's where I do need to be more relaxed, right? I know I've been on my fucking hot boy shit over the last few days, and I've just been going crazy. But I'm going to refrain from some of the craziness. I'm going to be refraining from going after, and I'm just going to try to keep, I like to be, this is where I like to be. I'm going to show you how I like to be with this answer. Why is Jake Shields so quiet? Steve Buckley, I don't know why Jake Shields is so quiet, right? I know you might be expecting me to say something spicy off the bat, but I'm going to refrain from doing it. Because at the end of the day, this ain't about being spicy. This is about being real. And, I think maybe Jake is quiet because he got a relationship with both brothers. If I were to give him the benefit of the doubt, he's being quiet to hopefully, be able to remain close to Nick and be in like a arm's reach, so to speak, right? In case shit does hit the fan. Jake is a real friend. I will consider him a real friend of Nick's. And in case shit hits the fan, he kept the peace. He maintained the relationship, even though that meant not being able to call him out for some of the bullshit that's been going on, right? So I'm hoping, right, Steve, I don't know why Jake is so quiet. Let's put it like this. I don't know why Jake is so quiet, but I'm hoping he's being quiet because he's trying to keep the peace. He wants to be in arm's reach of Nick in case anything bad happens, right? He wants to be on Nick's call log. He doesn't want to get blocked by Nick like Nick blocked me. I'm hoping that's why Jake's being so quiet, Steve. Aside from that, I don't know why he's being quiet, right? I can only speculate. So maybe that's why Jake's being quiet. I really hope that Jake can be the good head on the shoulders in this situation. So I know Jake came on my page trying to insinuate that I'm lying and shit like that. It's all good. It's all good. I just hope that he takes care of Nick. You feel me? That's all. Space Kid, hi. What up, Space Kid? What's poppin', homie? We literally just about to get out of the stream, homie. Shit. Hopefully everybody's Saturday night was good. It was a low-key stream tonight, but I did start super late, so figures. I'm sure some of the boys are out right now on this Saturday. All right, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is officially UFC 324 fight week. All right, tonight it was just active recovery. We were just in here chilling, chopping it up. Tomorrow, let's debate. Let's talk about UFC 324. Let's break down some of the matchups, right? Sean O'Malley, Sonya Dong, right? Of course, the main event. O'Malley, oh my God, about to say O'Malley again. Of course, the main event, Patty and Gaethje, right? So we're going to break all this shit down. Soda Pop says this week, UFC OMG, we so back. Love your work, Jacob. Thank you, Steve. And Soda Pop, we back, homie. We back, my man. We fucking back. It's finally fight week. That's what I like to say. I've been saying that in my head. It's finally fight week. Finally fight week. We've been waiting for this shit. Soda Pop says your neighbor might yell at you during UFC this week. Homie, I did tell her this. Catch this. This is what I told her. I told the boys already, but you weren't in here last night, so let me tell you. I said, because she wants me to be quiet past like 10 p.m., right? So I basically told her, like, hi, Evelyn, I will try my best to keep it down for you guys after 10 p.m. as much as possible, but I also work online and cover UFC events, so I might be noisy late on Saturday nights because it's my job to cover the fights. If you'd like to contact the leasing office for a sound evaluation, because she threatened that. She threatened to call the leasing office for a sound evaluation. I said, you are welcome to do that. I straight called her bluff. I said, you're welcome to do that because, like I said, some nights I might have to be loud, mostly weekends. And then I said, I do try my best to keep it down during the week, though. So. Soda Pop says, not someone crazy popular, but I saw these guys with 3K subs, and they had Drew Dober react to the fights live with them. You should try and do that with someone in Cali. Shout out to Soda Pop. Shout out to Soda Pop. I'm one step ahead of you, homie. I'm one step ahead of you. How about that, Soda Pop? How do you feel about that, Soda Pop? I'm one step ahead of you. I'm one step ahead of you. I'm one step ahead of you, homie. I'm one step ahead of you. I just keep saying that because I really want to give you more information, but I'm going to keep it close to my chest, Soda Pop. All I'm going to say right now is tune in to the UFC 324 live stream on my channel. Okay? I got a special surprise waiting for you, Soda Pop. Tune in UFC 324 on my channel for the live stream and fight companion. I got something special waiting for all you boys. Okay? It's taking a lot of self-control to keep it very vague. You boys know I'm a fucking blabbermouth. So it's a lot of self-control I'm using right now. We on the same wavelength. That's crazy. Hey, my man, boy, you better tell me. Don't guess in the motherfucking chat, Soda Pop. Don't fucking guess anything. Soda Pop, if you really want to know, hit me in the DM, I'll tell you. All right, Soda Pop, if you really want to know, it's up to you. That's why I'm not going to just hit you in the DM and tell you. It's up to you. You want to be surprised? Wait till Saturday. You really want to know? Hit me in the DM, my man. You know I'll tell you. Okay? You know I'll tell you. But yes, you did read my mind. You did read my mind. We got something special planned for this Saturday. Got to be someone cool as shit. You already know. You already know I only bring on. I only bring on. I was going to say cool people, but shit. I don't even know. Yeah, I do only bring on cool people, don't I? I think that's fair to say. Yeah, tell me. Okay. All right, I'll tell you, homie. All right, homie. It's been sent. Nah, you did an interview with Petrosky. He not cool. I know, you're right about that. That was before I changed my mind, and I was like, nah, I'm only interviewing cool people from now on. Better be someone I like for real. Shit, homie. Come on now. You finna love it. You finna love it. All right, Soda Pop. Don't react in the chat. I sent you the message on X. Don't even react in the chat. Oh, you already did LMAO. No way. That's fine. That's fine. Hey, my man. So Saturday, Soda Pop. Pop in, Soda Pop. We'll see you guys there. Everybody else, you gotta wait for the surprise. All right. I can't spoil it for everyone. Soda Pop got the fucking special treatment tonight. Okay. But anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Finally, fight week. Let's break down some of the matchups, and I'll be live all week. So we're continuing the streak. We on a legendary run. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Soda Pop, I'll see you tomorrow, or I'll see you on, throughout the week or on Saturday. But all right, peace out, everybody. Peace out.